Good morning and welcome. This is TMI Socials. I am Chukufum Nanya Digo, and here's what's making waves across social media. Now, the first one is something that's formed a part of the crux of our conversation this morning on TMI. The federal government's proposed pay rise for top political office holders is sparking outrage online and across the country. The Revenue Mobilisation, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, says salaries for the president, vice presidents, ministers, governors, and lawmakers need to be reviewed since they've not been updated since 2008. But Nigerians aren't buying it. You see, critics, including the PDP, NNPP, ADC, and the Labour Congress, are calling the move tone deaf at a time when citizens are struggling with inflation and hardship. Civil groups like SERAP have even threatened legal action if the government goes ahead. Now, people are insisting the hike is unlawful and unjust. On socials, many are asking, how can the leaders consider raising their own pay when workers and ordinary Nigerians are barely surviving? Like I did say, it formed the crux of our conversation this morning on TMI, and it is making waves on the social media space. Now let's get to see how netizens are reacting as regards this. The first comment says, Nigeria is the opposite of Burkina Faso, where the government of Burkina Faso reduced politician and minister's salary just to increase worker wages while indirectly boosting the economy from what it used to be. Nigeria, on the other hand, is planning an increasing incompetent politician salary, which was extremely high already. Let's get to see the next comment. Well, the next comment we're taking from the social media space says, federal government sets to increase salary for political office holders, including presidents, VP, ministers, and senators. The Revenue Mobilisation, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, hints, our troops also deserve salary and allowance increments. I hope authorities will do the necessary. Let's take another comment. Well, this other netizen says, people have tagged me in a post that says, federal government to increase the salaries of presidents, VP, ministers, and senators, says RMAFC. LOL, what exactly do you want me to break down from that? Anyway, I'll work on the breakdown and post here ASAP. That is from Bolaji Fesomade, who is, an analyst on such issues online, and hopefully we'll get to see his comments in later times. Let's get to see another comment from the social media space. This one says, they introduced new taxes for struggling Nigerians via the tax reform 2025 set to kickstart in January 2026, and yet the same government goes ahead to increase salaries for politicians. Nigerians are the most calm and tolerable humans in the entire world. Let's see another comment from the social media space about this. This commenter says, the presidency and the Revenue Mobilisation and Fiscal Allocation Committee must abort this odoriferous pursuit immediately. It is ill-conceived, irresponsible, and insensitive, to say the least. Handlers of the president should save him from infamy and insensitivity to the plight of the general public. Goes ahead to tag the president. Official Bola Ahmed Tinubu must abort this ill-timed mission immediately and quell the rumors without further delay. Let's see the last comment from the social media space on this particular issue. Well, we'll just call it a wrap there and take the second trending story on the social media space. Now, this one comes at the ADC coalition event in Lagos, where we saw Professor Ola Olateju, who represented Atiku Abubakar, making remarks suggesting that Atiku's focus is more on national transformation than the presidency, which many observers interpreted as a hint that he may sit out the 2027 race. But however, Atiku's aide, Tunde Olushunle, swiftly clarified via news agencies and that these reviews were expressed without prior consultation. He stressed that Atiku remains committed to vying for the presidency in 2027. Now, Atiku reiterated his intention to run underscoring Nigeria's urgent need for rescue from what he described as its current intensive care state. Meanwhile, a viral video purportedly showing him affirming his presidential ambition was debunked by his camp as old footage. We've seen that particular video circulating online. However, he's come out to, debunk that video and released a press statement through his media aide, Tunde Olushonle, that, he is not saying he's not vying, but, he is still in support of national development. Now, let's get to see what people on the social media space are saying as regards this. Taking the first comment, it says, I have a strong suspicion about Atiku Abubakar's presidential ambitions come 2027. While Peter Obi has consistently maintained that a single 4-year term would be enough for him if giving the mandate, I believe Atiku's strategy may be deeper than it appears on the surface. Yes, Atiku will certainly contest in 2027, but I strongly feel he may eventually step down from the race just a few weeks or even days before the polls, throwing his weight behind Peter Obi. His calculation, in my view, would be that once Obi completes his single term, the path to the presidency would be far more open for him, especially if Tinubu is successfully unseated. Just my sense of observation. Let's see the next comment. The next comment says, so what's the coalition really about? Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi and Rotimi Amechi all say they're running. How's this coalition supposed to work when everyone's gunning for the top spot? From what I see, Peter Obi feels like the strongest pick to lead the coalition. He's got the momentum and connects with people. But if Atiku gets the nod, I'm worried it's practically handing Tinubu a second term. Well, let's see another social media reaction on this one. This one from Stephen Oserenge says, Atiku Abubakar should step down for Peter Obi and nominate Tambuwal as Peter Obi's vice president. Such a ticket would galvanize the opposition and bring the real handshake across the Niger, which would guarantee victory against Tinubu APC election machinations. Nigeria youths will be energized by such a ticket and they will be ready to defend their own votes. Someone should advise the old man that it is time to back Peter Obi instead of running to lose woefully again in 2027. There's still a lot of comments emanating from this one. Let's get to see the next social media reaction as regards this one. It says, Atiku Abubakar said he is not desperate to be president. If there's any truth in this statement, I think it's the best retirement gift Atiku will give himself at this point would be supporting Peter Obi, his one-time running mate, to take the lead. Atiku has been contesting and losing all along. He's always on the ballot in every election. It's time for him to accept the reality that he won't be president and leave the stage with his honor and dignity intact. One of the unique qualities of a good dancer is knowing when to vacate the stage when the ovation is still loud. Very, very strong comments from that particular commenter. Well, that is where we draw the curtain right here on TMI Social.